He's almost got to be perfect. And I think everyone is looking at Shedeur, and you forget about Dillon Gabriel. But anytime you're a fifth-round draft pick, the deck is stacked against you. And I understand his last name is Sanders and where he comes from, but he's still a fifth-round pick. So when he gets his opportunity, he's got to go out and almost be perfect. I think he can do that. But here's the caveat for him.
No one expected much from Shedeur Sanders. Now, just days into camp, he's become the player everyone's talking about, and the Browns might not know what to do with him. Sanders arrived in Cleveland as a low-risk, high-upside pick. He had fallen in the draft despite gaudy college numbers, largely due to concerns about maturity, character, and how his game would translate from Colorado's offensive system to the pros. By the time the Browns called his name at pick 144, many analysts were already labeling him a potential project. But that label didn't last long. On day 4 of training camp, Sanders threw 3 touchdowns and went 8 of 11 in team drills. In his first padded practice, he was flawless, completing all 9 of his passes, 2 of them for scores, with no interceptions. Across the entire first week, he completed 70% of his passes, threw 5 touchdowns, and didn't turn the ball over once. Those numbers are impressive for any rookie, but even more so when you consider the context. Sanders has been buried on the depth chart, often practicing with the 3rd or 4th team, and even throwing to equipment staff instead of actual receivers. He hasn't received first-team reps, and yet he's making his presence impossible to ignore. And it's not just practice reports. Fans at training camp have noticed. Reporters have noticed. Every time Sanders steps on the field, there's this building sense that something unusual is happening, something the Browns may not be fully prepared to handle. It's the kind of quiet storm that brews underneath the surface, gathering momentum with every accurate pass, every touchdown drive, and every viral clip that makes it to social media. Still, the Browns have been cautious. Veteran Joe Flacco is expected to start, and fellow rookie Dillon Gabriel has been given more opportunities, partly due to Kenny Pickett's hamstring injury. Sanders, despite his standout performances, remains listed as QB4. That discrepancy hasn't gone unnoticed. The quarterback room in Cleveland is crowded, and it's starting to feel like the team may be forced to make a move before the regular season begins. Some reports suggest the Browns may not carry 4 quarterbacks into the season. If that's the case, one of them has to go. And with Flacco's experience and Gabriel's draft status, Sanders could be the odd man out. But here's the twist: fans are rallying behind him. A viral video of Sanders connecting on a deep throw to Luke Floria drew nearly 400,000 views in days. Social media chatter has turned him into a fan favorite, with hashtags proclaiming him the rightful QB1. Madden 26 even ranked him above Gabriel, further fueling the debate. Then came the off-field drama. Browns owner Jimmy Haslam stirred controversy when he publicly distanced himself from the decision to draft Sanders. He stated that if he had been told the Browns would pick Shedeur, he would have said, "That's not happening." He made it clear the selection was GM Andrew Berry's call, not his.
I didn't see that.
The reaction was swift. Analysts like Shannon Sharp questioned the need for Haslam's comment. Former wide receiver Chad Ocho Johnson turned the situation around, suggesting that Haslam's lack of involvement could actually benefit Sanders. He argued that sometimes the best moves happen when ownership steps back and lets the football people work. It wasn't just analysts chiming in. Fans and media alike saw Haslam's comment as a red flag, not just about Sanders, but about the Browns' organizational culture. Since returning to the league in 1999, Cleveland has started 40 different quarterbacks. Only 3 seasons featured a single starter for the entire year. The team's history of mishandling quarterbacks is legendary, and now Shedeur Sanders appears to be caught in the same cycle. But if Sanders is rattled, he hasn't shown it. When asked about the lack of reps, he calmly said, "It's not in my control. I know who I am. I'm thankful for the opportunity." His maturity and focus have drawn praise from both media and coaches. Head coach Kevin Stefanski has publicly applauded Sanders' work ethic, even as he remains hesitant to give him more prominent reps.
It's not in my control.
so I'm not even gonna think about that or have that even in my thought process of why it is. Like, there's a lot of people that want to have the opportunity to be at this level, and I'm here, and I'm thankful to have the opportunity. So,
behind the scenes, Sanders is taking extra reps outside of scheduled practices. He's studying film, asking questions, and staying late on the field. After receiving criticism from GM Andrew Berry for getting 2 speeding tickets, Sanders didn't make excuses. Instead, he responded by doubling down on his commitment to improve, both on and off the field. The situation has sparked debate about whether Sanders is being given a fair shot. Some insiders say he's being evaluated like any other rookie, and that his path is about development, not politics. Others believe the Browns are too conservative, unwilling to challenge the established order even when the data suggests they should. A major voice in Sanders' corner has been Cleveland radio host Ken Carman. He went on air to defend the team, insisting that they are not sabotaging Sanders and that his opportunity is real. Still, the visual of Sanders throwing to backup staff while Flacco and Gabriel take top reps has raised eyebrows. And then there's the elephant in the room: trust. For all the talk about talent, culture, and development, there's an underlying question of whether the Browns genuinely trust Sanders. Not just his arm, but his decision-making, his leadership, and perhaps most importantly, his ability to shift the narrative around what a Cleveland quarterback can be. There's also a timing issue. The Browns open the season on September 7th against the Bengals. Preseason games are approaching, and if Sanders doesn't see meaningful snaps, it will be hard to make a case for his inclusion on the final roster. The next few weeks will be critical. The bigger picture is this: Shedeur Sanders doesn't just have a quarterback competition problem. He has a Cleveland Browns problem. He's a young, talented quarterback trying to rise in an organization that has historically failed to develop players like him. It's not just about reps or stats, it's about culture, politics, and trust. Yet, in many ways, that's what makes Sanders' story so compelling. He's not the flashy first-rounder with guaranteed snaps. He's the overlooked underdog, playing like a starter while being treated like an afterthought. And every throw he makes in practice is adding pressure on the Browns to reconsider their plan. It's becoming clear that Shedeur Sanders is not here to just fill a training camp roster spot. He's making the team think, forcing the coaching staff to evaluate their depth chart with fresh eyes. If preseason continues the way camp has started, this could be more than a battle for QB3, it could be the start of a quarterback controversy. If Cleveland can't find a way to integrate Sanders into their long-term vision, they risk letting another potential star slip through their fingers. And given the team's track record, that would be more than a misstep. It would be another chapter in a book of missed opportunities. There's still time. The preseason games will offer a platform, and public pressure could influence internal decisions. If Sanders continues to shine, the Browns may have no choice but to elevate him. The fans already have. The question is whether the front office will do the same. As it stands now, Shedeur Sanders is proving he belongs in the NFL. Whether the Browns will let him prove that in Cleveland remains the biggest mystery of training camp. And if history is any guide, it's a mystery worth watching closely. If you think Shedeur Sanders deserves a real shot, drop a comment below and let us know should the Browns shake up their QB depth chart. And if you're following his journey, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more updates as the preseason unfolds. This story is just getting started.
Shit out of whoever trim. You play with my fan, you trim. You play with my money, you trim. They looking like, who is this nigga? Don't play with me, boy, I'm him.
Myles Garrett just earned one of the most prestigious honors in professional football. EA Sports named him to the exclusive Madden NFL 2699 club alongside just 6 other players. The Cleveland Browns defensive end joins Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Saquon Barkley, and Lane Johnson as the only players to receive the game's maximum 99 overall rating. But here's what makes this recognition particularly striking. Garrett stands as the lone defender among these Elite 7 players: 2 quarterbacks, 2 wide receivers, 1 running back, 1 offensive tackle, and 1 defensive end. That's it. The honor should represent the pinnacle of NFL recognition. Instead, it highlights a troubling pattern of concerning developments that have followed Garrett throughout recent seasons. The bad news keeps piling up, and this latest achievement might actually underscore deeper problems rather than celebrate success. Garrett's inclusion in the 99 club marks his return to the top tier after falling to a 98 rating in Madden 25. From 2022 to 2023, he held 99 overall status before that single-point drop. Now he's back, but the circumstances surrounding this return tell a different story than simple excellence. The 29-year-old recorded impressive statistics in 2024. He posted 47 total tackles with 40 solo efforts and 7 assists. His 14 sacks marked the second consecutive season reaching that number. He added 22 tackles for loss, 3 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, 1 pass defended, and 28 quarterback hits. EA Sports assigned him an 87 speed rating, 96 strength rating, 86 agility rating, 71 change of direction rating, 92 injury rating, and 97 awareness rating in Madden NFL 26. These numbers reflect elite performance across multiple categories, but statistics don't tell the complete story. The 2024 season revealed significant concerns that continued into 2025. Garrett's 2024 statistics looked impressive on paper, but context matters. He battled a shoulder injury that significantly impacted his performance during the second half of the season. The injury didn't force him to miss games. Garrett refused to sit out, but it clearly affected his effectiveness. His snap count diminished as the injury lingered. The Browns had to manage his playing time, reducing his on-field presence when the team needed him most. For a player whose value comes from consistent pressure on opposing quarterbacks, limited snaps represent a major problem. The injury rating of 92 in Madden NFL 26 reflects these durability concerns. At 29 years old, Garrett's body is showing wear from 8 NFL seasons of high-impact collisions. Pass rushers typically face physical decline in their late 20s and early 30s. His college career at Texas A&M also featured injury problems. His junior campaign was derailed by injuries early in the season, though his previous performance was enough for the Browns to select him first overall in the 2017 NFL Draft. Early 2025 brought the most concerning development yet. Garrett publicly demanded a trade from the Cleveland Browns. The request sent shockwaves through the organization and fan base. Here was their franchise cornerstone, their 2023 NFL Defensive Player of the Year, actively seeking an exit. The demand raised immediate questions about Garrett's commitment to Cleveland and his satisfaction with the team's direction. Why would the lone elite defender on the roster want out? What internal issues prompted such a drastic request? Then came the stunning reversal. Just weeks after demanding a trade, Garrett signed a 4-year contract extension that became the richest non-quarterback deal in NFL history at the time. The dramatic flip from trade demand to record-breaking contract created more questions than answers. This followed his previous 4-year, $160 million extension signed in 2023, which had briefly made him the highest-paid non-quarterback in league history. The Browns had already committed massive resources to keeping Garrett, making his trade demand even more puzzling. The back-and-forth raises concerns about Garrett's decision-making and stability. Professional athletes don't typically make such public demands and then completely reverse course within weeks unless significant issues exist behind the scenes. Garrett's status as the only defender in the 99 club highlights another troubling reality. The Browns have built their defensive identity around one player. When that player struggles with injuries or considers leaving, the entire defensive unit suffers. Many fans believed reigning Defensive Player of the Year Patrick Surtain II deserved inclusion in the 99 club. His absence makes Garrett's selection feel somewhat hollow. Recognition by default rather than clear superiority. The Browns finished with defensive struggles in 2024 despite Garrett's individual success. His 14 sacks and 22 tackles for loss couldn't elevate a unit that lacked consistent playmakers at other positions. Cleveland's defensive rankings reflected this imbalance. Opposing offensive coordinators can game plan around a single elite defender more easily than a balanced unit. Double teams, chip blocks, and quick passing attacks neutralize even the best pass rushers when they lack support. At 29, Garrett has entered the typically challenging phase for defensive ends. pass rushers rely heavily on speed, explosiveness, and physical tools that naturally decline with age. His 87 speed rating in Madden, while respectable, isn't elite for his position. Bruce Smith's 200 career sacks represent a distant target. Garrett has accumulated 102.5 career sacks through 8 seasons, putting him on pace for approximately 150 to 160 career sacks if he maintains current production. That assumes no further decline due to age or injury. His change of direction rating of 71 in Madden NFL 26 suggests some loss of lateral quickness. For a player who built his reputation on beating offensive tackles around the edge, any decline in agility becomes significant. The shoulder injury from 2024 may have lasting effects. Shoulder problems often recur for players who rely on upper body strength and arm usage in hand fighting with blockers. Garrett became the first Cleveland Browns player to receive a 99 overall rating in Madden when EA honored him in 2022. He retained that status in 2023 before the drop to 98 in Madden 25. The fluctuation demonstrates how quickly perceptions can change. The 99 club traditionally includes 2 to 7 players each year. This year's 7 members represent a changing of the guard. None participated in Madden 25's elite group. Garrett, Justin Jefferson, and Lamar Jackson each missed inclusion by a single point last season. Josh Allen became the first reigning MVP to start a Madden game with a 99 rating since the club's inception with Madden 20. This historical significance adds pressure on all members to justify their selections. The Browns have focused extensively on their offensive struggles, particularly at quarterback. This attention has overshadowed Garrett's presence. With all the offseason focus on the Cleveland Browns offense, mainly quarterback, it's almost become an afterthought that they have one of the game's best players on the other side of the ball in Myles Garrett. Cleveland's championship aspirations rest heavily on Garrett's continued excellence. He serves as the foundation of their defensive identity and playoff hopes. His ability to disrupt opposing offenses single-handedly gives the Browns a difference-maker few teams possess. But building around a single defensive player creates vulnerability. If Garrett's production declines, gets injured, or becomes truly unhappy, the entire defensive structure collapses. Despite accumulating 4 first-team All-Pro selections, 6 Pro Bowl appearances, and the 2023 NFL Defensive Player of the Year award, Garrett lacks the one achievement that defines great players: a Super Bowl championship. The Browns haven't reached the playoffs consistently during Garrett's tenure. Their organizational struggles have limited his opportunities to showcase his talents on the biggest stages. Individual accolades matter, but team success creates lasting legacies. At 29, Garrett's championship window is narrowing. Elite pass rushers typically have limited opportunities to contribute to Super Bowl runs. His trade demand earlier this year might have reflected frustration with Cleveland's inability to build a complete roster. Garrett's college statistics at Texas A&M showed impressive production before injury issues. As a freshman, he recorded 11.5 sacks, 14 tackles for loss, 53 tackles, and 9 quarterback hurries. His sophomore season featured 12.5 sacks, 19.5 tackles for loss, and 59 tackles. His junior campaign took a step back due to early season injuries, but the Browns had seen enough to make him the top overall selection. After 3 college seasons, he posted 84 solo tackles, 61 assists, 8.5 tackles for loss, 32.5 sacks, 5 pass deflections, and 7 forced fumbles. The pattern of injury concerns dates back to college. Professional football's increased physicality and longer seasons have compounded these issues. EA Sports releases Madden ratings by position group in most years. For Madden 26, they started with the 99 club announcement on Monday, followed by rookie ratings on Tuesday, offense reveals on Wednesday, defense reveals on Thursday, and complete reveals with superstar X Factor abilities on Friday. Players typically receive commemorative gifts for 99 club inclusion. EA has provided golden 99 club cleats, golden video game controllers, and gold 99 club chains in previous years.
Dillon has plenty of arm strength. I think he's been inconsistent. I think Shedeur has been mostly accurate On his good ones, when it leaves his hand, you know. So they are very tradable, both Pickett and Flacco. Any other quarterback, they're way at the bottom end.
When your team's GM calls you out for not smart decisions just days into training camp, you know things aren't going according to plan. But here's the twist. Despite the controversy, Shedeur Sanders might actually be turning heads for all the right reasons in Cleveland. Let's start with what everyone's talking about. 2 speeding tickets. That's what landed Shedeur Sanders in hot water with Browns GM Andrew Berry